Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, I'm Wave, a singer-songwriter and producer. As you can tell from the title of the video, I'll be producing a song for Taylor Swift. This is the second episode of the new series on the channel, and I thought it would be fun and meaningful for me to not only dissect the sound of the K-pop artists and Western artists that I know throughout my entire years, but also produce a song for them. If you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to share this with any of the Swifties you know. So without further ado, let's get started! One thing that really defines Taylor Swift as an artist, and something that even critics also praises her on, is her songwriting. Her world building and marketing is so intentional that it is impossible to ignore. Every era has a distinct soundscape and visual identity that matches the album's vibes. On top of that, her personal stories being woven into songs also pulls intents deep into her world. For better or worse, she's built one of the strongest parasocial relationships in pop music. Now, looking at her discography from a producer's perspective, I think we can narrow it down to 3 different eras where production really takes the center stage. First up, we have to talk about 1989. It's quite literally one of the pop albums of all time. We have big drums, bow percussion. The pluck synths are used very intentionally, acting as subtle support and as the main driver of the song in some songs like. There's also the nostalgic use of electric guitars like the one in Style. And of course, one thing in common in all of 1989's songs is the sky-high choruses. Next, we have Reputation, which is also a heavily produced record. This dark city and night aesthetic splits the album into 2 sides, the moody side and the badass side. On one end, mellow synths paints the sky the darkest greys. On the other, aggressive synths on some songs give a gritty edge. Some tracks balances both worlds like Don't Blame Me. The drums lean heavily into hip-hop and R&B, which is probably why the album feels hip-hop adjacent. Lastly, we have her latest album, The Life of a Showgirl. I know some people, and maybe you who are even watching, have a hot take on this, but we'll get to that later. Let's talk about the production first. This album feels clean, expensive and luxurious. And the reason it feels so different from 1989 and Reputation, despite all being pop records, The Life of a Showgirl carefully balances live instruments with the selective use of synths. You'll hear pianos, acoustic guitars, and electric guitars supporting the song almost consistently. In some of the songs, we have synths being used like ear candies, sparkly textures in songs like Elizabeth Taylor and Wishlist, while mellow synths sit quietly in the verses of Father Figure. Most songs start off restrained and gradually build, which makes the arrangement feel very intentional. Everything feels carved and shaped, and that's what gives the album its luxurious tone. From a production standpoint, there are fewer elements that are occupying the higher frequencies. When something does sit there, it's usually just one element, carefully chosen and mixed to stand out without cluttering the song. Fewer layers, less busyness, and cleaner production. Now, onto the controversial part. Why wasn't The Life of a Showgirl as well received as other pop records? I do have to say that most Taylor albums do get hate early on, but this one faced noticeably more pushback, even from Swifties themselves. First up, songwriting. Even I have to admit that this is one of her weakest lyricisms across her discography. There are definitely highlights. Personally, I think that the first 4 tracks are written very well, but beyond that, many of the lyrics feel surface level and less engaging and less interesting compared to the other ones that we had. So from this album, Father Figure really stands out to me as the strongest track of the album. Second, the expectation expectations around the production. I think most people expected 1989 2.0 or Cruel Summer all over again. But why would Taylor Swift do that? When the original exists, sometimes it's better to leave the pop record as it is without extending it unnecessarily, you know? Personally, I really liked the balance of the mellow and pop on The Life of a Showgirl. Okay, enough of the yapping. I'm gonna try to narrow down my production choice for the song, and I'm honestly thinking to go for all three directions. You know, combining all the three pop records that I like production-wise into one entire track. I'll go through my thought process and how I craft out each section of the song based on the different eras. So without further ado, let's get into beat making. Okay, hi everyone. So this is a work in progress now. Most of the structure of the song is done, and I think I can tell you which songs of Taylor Swift really inspired this song. So let's get into it. We start off with pianos and a little like synths that's underneath. So this piano is mainly from Elizabeth Taylor, so I'm very inspired by how mellow it sounded. So I wanted to recreate that. Obviously, I couldn't replicate the entire like piano sound. The piano in Elizabeth Taylor is a lot softer and more muted compared to this one. I did what I could do, and I think this is the best one it came out with. Some violins, which are basically present in Elizabeth Taylor as well. There's a little underlying synth over here. So that is for the first verse. Then we move on to the pre-chorus. The pre-chorus, I was inspired by Call It What You Want, so I decided to replicate how its drum pattern is being used, even to the snare fill at the very end. Then we have vocals. Call It What You Want in the verses, it actually has vocals. That vocal. So I'm gonna try to replicate that, and I end up with this. In total, it sounds like this. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this one little extra big background synth that I added this one. It's only present during the snare fills. Then we come to the chorus. Of course, it is 1989, which is one of my favorite pop records. I decided to replicate Out of the Woods. So for Out of the Woods, we have this drone bass, which is present in throughout, I think, the entire song of Out of the Woods. On top of that, we have a little like a bass synth that is plucking. Pluck bass. So let's hear the intended effect. It's supposed to give it like a pulsing beat, you know? We have the piano that's going ta 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 ta, they're just hitting every single semi-quaver of the entire bar. Out of the Woods actually has acoustic guitars if you have not noticed. So the intended effect for this acoustic guitar is to have its sparkly like texture. So for this drum pattern, what I have here is a huge clap. I have this snare over here that accompanies the clap. So you have a snare clap situation here. A bunch of percussions, a bunch of toms actually. In Out of the Woods, he really loves using vocal chops and everything. So here we have this vocal impact that I found, and then I just decided to do like a left-right panning, and it'll sound like this. Put together the entire chorus, right, along with some impacts that I found, it will be this. So we're done talking about all the inspiration and the work in progress updates. So now I'm going to go into the songwriting, and then we're going to write the song and record the vocals for the song. Now let's talk about songwriting, specifically how I approach my songwriting for Taylor Swift. Taylor has talked about it herself, her 3 different distinct writing styles. Firstly, we have the glitter gel pen songs. These are the unserious high energy tracks. Simple language, big hooks, very conversational. They are fun, catchy and meant to be replayed. Then we have the fountain pen songs. This is a modern narrative driven style, still accessible but detailed and emotionally grounded. These songs focus on the moments, scenes and personal reflection. They feel honest, direct and very present tense. And lastly, the quill pen songs. This is where she fully leans into metaphor and imagery. The writing is poetic, layered, and often detached from literal reality. These songs don't exactly tell you how to feel, they let you sit with the imagery and you interpret the lyrics yourself. So for this challenge, I'm going with fountain pen writing, which I think I am the strongest in. So I'm going to write the song, record the vocals, and I'll see you when I have the final results. Hi guys, I'm back from recording and mixing the song. Before I show you my final results, I want to thank you for staying all the way if you've watched the entire video, for being so curious about the entire process of doing a production. Let's do a brief short introduction of the song. The song is called Still Want You, a very simple song about yearning, but with certain Taylor Swift stylistic techniques of like how she words stuff or how she likes to write. You know, this song was being put together with the help of my friend, who was kind enough to help me write some lyrics and some melodies as well. So without further ado, here is the final results.
Hand in my on a silent drive, your eyes twinkle like a starry night. Call this once in a lifetime. Crimson red, we were caving in, so we'll try everything that we can. This shouldn't be how this ends. Lights out, midnight, replay past lives. I wish you were here tonight. Now the cold seeps into my body. Your warm tenor, yes, to haunts me. Can't believe we gave up what could be. There's no reason why, but I still want you. God, I still want you. Saying your name like it's all I do. Every road it still leads me back to you. Still I want you. God, I still want you. I know I shouldn't, but what can I do? Everybody's here, but I still want only you. Only you, only you.
So how was the song? Did you like it? Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment and share this with any of the Swifties that you know, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye! Time for my mini karaoke session. What song should I sing? Oh, so many Taylor Swift songs that I really love to sing. Okay, I'll sing Cruel Summer, since that is one of the most popular songs. Fever dream high in the quiet of the night, you know that I caught it. Bad boy, shiny toy with a price, you know that I bought it. Killing me slow, out the window, I'm always waiting for you to be waiting below. Devils roll the dice, angels roll their eyes. What doesn't kill me makes me want, what doesn't kill me makes you want you more. And it's new, the shape of your body, it's blue, and the feeling I've got it. Ooh, oh, oh, it's a cruel summer. It's cool, and that's why I tell 'em no rules. Unbreakable heaven, but ooh, oh, oh, it's a cruel summer with you. I'm drunk in the back of the car, and I cry like a baby coming home from the bar. Say I'm fine, but it wasn't true. I don't wanna keep secrets just to keep you and I. Okay, bye bye.